Hi guys, I'm excited to walk through the subtle set of changes that we made to the design to improve it. So as we approach the front, everything looks about the same to me here, with the exception that since we've widened the porch to allow for uh, a pair of chairs here, as well as the continuous bench element that runs in and out through this window, I've now added a rain chain here that's anchored by a rock slope to drain. But there's really not too much of a change here other than to tighten up the spacing of those pots. But I think this looks really, really nice. The rest of the downspouts, I'm sorry, the rest of the gutters, I should say, would be attached to downspouts that I will model towards later phases, but I'll show the other rain chain that I'm putting in the design back towards the master suite. So as we approach the front door and enter in, our view is guided towards the artwork that we have on the wall and the wood siding that continues from inside to out, and our eyes drawn up to that very simple skylight shaft. And since we are potentially opening up this wall area, removing the wall separating the living from the more formal foyer, I'm thinking to myself, well, we've really got to make this piece special here, so maybe we should mount some pots on the wall to really soak in all the natural light we're going to get from the skylight up here. And then let's turn the stone down and do a waterfall edge like you'll see that we've kept in the kitchen island. So we'll have a waterfall edge detail here too. And I think that just looks really great from this more open living and entry area. And when you do come in and you sit down on this bench, you'll get a long view of what's going on in this living room with a pair of sliding pocket doors that when you want to close them off, no one has to see what's going on in your office. If you want to be in here for privacy, of course, that's fine because those doors have a little bit of frosted glass in them, so you'll still have access to natural light. And from your office, I feel like you've got a really fantastic connection centered on this bay window here when these doors are in their fully open position, tucked out of view. This is a really special spot. And I like it being open, so I hope you do too. I hope this is something we can agree on. I've tucked in or added in another chair here just off of this circulation zone from the garage, and still absolutely it makes sense to me to have the garage door ganged up against the required circulation zone here to get into your office space. And it just makes sense to keep that tight to here rather than considering moving the garage door to the other side and basically having to slam all this furniture up against this opening. So the door's got to stay there, I think. But now, when we come into the entry hallway here, it's a lot simpler, but I've opted to, in addition to widening the opening that we talked about during our meeting, I've opted to include this framed opening, just a really simple opening, in the wall between the dining and the hallway. Now, with this half-height wall here, I feel like the dining table's got its own dedicated zone, but as soon as you come here, you're a part of this really open connection to this really fantastically sized great room. And this opening centered on these three pendants, and I really like this, and I expect you're going to like it too. As you turn the corner here, you can see how these pendants are centered on the table. That table is centered on this opening, or I should say this opening is centered on the table, while leaving some space here in the back for a buffet and some open area for a coffee station. But if we're going to do this, then I'm going to want to bring that skylight that we had in this hallway. Now I definitely have to try to take advantage of it. So we'll pull that back. And so it's not as connected to the laundry, but that's okay. This hopefully will just almost always be in the closed position. And to be honest with you, we don't need frosted glass on this door, I think, because when you're going to step in here, it's going to be quick, right? You're coming in here just to grab something on the washers here, or snag something in the fridge there. And then we'll just have this door close again. So I think we can get rid of the frosted glass and just have that door open when you're working there. Now, in this family room, with the flat ceilings and the flat 9-foot ceiling in here being really clean all the way around, so 9-foot flat all the way around, it doesn't feel low to me at all. It feels so much better than an 8-foot flat ceiling, but it's so much more open, and we've got a full appreciation of this large flared skylight shaft from anywhere in the family room. I think it looks great. And I am showing the 8-foot long island, still with 4 seating areas. So it's just a really clean turn down of the waterfall slab here. And we'll do another surface in stone here on the back side. And it'll really feel monumental on this end. And then plenty of storage on this end. But keep this nice and clean. And I still like the idea of having a couple open shelves here in the corner with the same countertop material turned up, or if this is going to be a different backsplash material, that's fine, but the backs here should look like that same material just to really tie this all together, make it feel larger. I really like this opening. I hope you do too. Speaking of openings, I think this one here, I wanted to show this to you. I think this is fantastic. You know, so what if people are going to be walking through here on the day-to-daily? It's not the big deal. We do have a path for people to take to walk behind in case there is something going on the TV. We don't want to interrupt it. We can walk behind the furniture here to get to the doors to the outside. But these are really fantastic doors at my other client's home. 8 feet tall, 16 feet wide. There's 4 panels, so when they are closed, it still looks super open and clean. But when they're open, you've got just a really big wide opening, and it still looks super clean because it's still just, 4 stacked panels. Of course, we can look at this other design too, this previous one. And, there's nothing wrong with it. It'll be a little bit less expensive, I think. And it's got a similar amount of wow factor to me. This would just be completely fixed. You don't have to worry about ever accommodating anyone to walk through here. You could put more seating along this area and just pull this couch off the circulation zone as much as you'd like. So this is still a viable option. But for the same amount of glass, I think I'd rather see something more like this. Maybe this couch is too much. Okay. The other changes here in the master suite, just to go with a flat ceiling, feel just fine to me. No problems with that. This is a really light and airy space. Plenty of room for furniture and some yoga mats being used here. And still a mirror in the hallway, full-length mirror here between the 2 doors. Between the walk-in closet window and between the master suite here. The master bathroom, I should say. And I've opted to move the master bath window further over towards the toilet side because walking through here and seeing the tree foliage, I feel like you see more of the crown the further over to the right the window is. So instead of having a larger window here that was directly across from the door, I feel now we've got a better stacked towel bar situation at this wall. If we and we get a better view of the tree out here if we shift the window over. So I really like this setup here. Well, guys, I think that covers it for the changes. Um, as always, I am eager to hear your thoughts and talk about next steps or talk about your feedback. Thank you, guys.